we are going to look at something from Franz Kafka, which has none of the qualities that we usually attribute to his writings. And when I say we usually attribute, I mean the dictionary definition of a word like, for example, Kafkaesque. Kafkaesque describes a situation which is uncanny, which is nightmarish, which is alienating, which uh, speaks of suffering, the human organism suffering within the confines of processes, created by processes, brought to an end by processes, processes which go beyond and above our reality. However, this writing is, on the other hand, tremendously affirmative, tremendously positive, um, and it speaks directly to the mystery of being, the abyss of being, but also the mystery and the radiance of being. So, without further ado, Kafka. I do not strive for self control. Now, the German word over here is Selbstbeherrschung. It also has the meaning of mastery. So, I don't strive for self control or self mastery. In a certain way, perhaps I understand already that I don't need to really master myself. Maybe that's what Kafka is saying. But let's read on. I do not strive for self control or self mastery. Self control means wanting to exert influence or work at a random point in the infinite radiations of my spiritual existence. Beautiful, no? What he's trying to say is that perhaps self control is already to accept a kind of limitation which doesn't really exist. Because self control would mean starting to work somewhere and starting to work on one's own self, on one's own being, in a way which is doomed to be random, which is by design, by the by the nature of reality, random, so foolish, something which is decided by chance. Today I wake up and I want to change myself. I want to master myself. I want to control everything that I think, speak, act. And this can only be a random occurrence because what I am is not entirely clear to me. Why is it not clear to me? Is it because I'm a darkness? Is it because I'm nothing? But Kafka over here is saying that no, that's not the truth. The truth is that I have to start somewhere from the infinite radiations of my spiritual existence. So the infinite radiation over here translates the German unendliche Ausstrahlungen. Ausstrahlungen can mean radiation, can mean something like a broadcast even, where you as a speaking being are speaking to others and you don't know what effect you have on that. So that echo is also here. Also, just as importantly, Ausstrahlungen hides the word Strahl. Strahl means a ray of light. So, in the infinite radiations of my spiritual existence, if I must draw such circles around myself, if I must limit myself, if I must confine myself or subject myself to a process of self improvement or self observation that will yield some or the other result, which is again not going to really sum up who I am, what I am, because what I am, who I am is infinite, is dispersed, is more than I can talk about right at this moment. If I must draw such circles around myself, he writes, go on such wanderings into my being. I had better do it idly, in the mere astonishment of the monstrous complex, and take home only the strengthening that this sight gives, a contrary. And this is profound. We can be astonished, but we cannot really work. That seems to be what Kafka is trying to say here. That we are bound to be astonished. Or instead of working at a certain point in the infinite radiation of being that I am, it would serve me better if I were to abandon such attempts at mastery and simply absorb the enormity of who I am, of the freedom that I am, of the abyss that I am, and take this sight, this tremendous sight, this sight which is beyond what I can imagine, beyond what I can calculate, and use the strength that this sight gives me, and not use it to exhaust it, but to bring it back, to bring it home.